Welcome to Mental Health Bites with Dr. Judy. In this podcast, we'll cover a timely topic related to psychology, answer one of your burning questions, and leave you with a practical tip to improve your mental wellness every single day. Let's dive right into the timely topic of the day. Today, we're diving into something we all wrestle with from time to time, and that is motivation and strengthening your willpower. Whether it's chasing career goals, sticking to healthy habits, or just getting out of bed on those tough mornings, motivation is at the core of it all. But the good news is that there are ways to fuel it, and I'm excited to share these tips with you today. Let's get started. Motivation and willpower are often spoken about as if they are mystical qualities or personality traits somebody might be born with. But in reality, they are skills that can be nurtured, strengthened, and honed. So let's break this down. Motivation is a drive that propels you toward a goal or a behavior. It's the reason that you feel excited to start something new. Willpower, on the other hand, is your ability to resist short-term temptations and push through discomfort to reach long-term goals. Together, they create the foundation for achieving and sustaining success, whether in personal growth, career advancement, or maintaining healthy habits and relationships. According to a study published by the American Psychological Association, individuals with higher levels of self-control and willpower are 40% more likely to achieve long-term goals compared to those who rely solely on their initial bursts of motivation. Another study from Stanford University found that participants who believed willpower was an unlimited resource performed 15% better on complex problem-solving tasks and experienced less burnout. So, why do so many people struggle with motivation and willpower? And I really truly believe that this is a universal struggle that everyone has from time to time, but some people just struggle a bit more than others. Well, one big reason why people struggle with this is that pursuing goals that aren't aligned with personal values can lead to short circuiting their motivation as well as burning out on the goal attainment. Research by the University of Rochester found that people who pursue intrinsic goals, these are goals tied to personal growth and fulfillment, report 33% higher sustained motivation compared to those pursuing extrinsic goals like status or external validation. Also, decision fatigue plays a role. Every single choice we make throughout the day depletes our willpower reserves. By the time we reach the late afternoon or evening, making healthy or productive choices becomes more difficult. This is why it's so much harder to work out after a full day of work rather than before or even in the middle of the day. And this is also why structuring routines and minimizing unnecessary decisions can preserve willpower for critical tasks. Recently, I recorded an entire episode on decision fatigue and how we can harness our decision making so that you can reach your goals and do it with more ease. So check that episode out if you haven't heard or seen it already. So let's talk a little bit about some well-known people who have harnessed motivation and willpower effectively. Keanu Reeves, one of my favorite actors, is well known for his humility and perseverance. He frequently credits his motivation to his passion for acting, as well as his sense of gratitude for the opportunities he has been given. His grounded mindset and focus on personal growth have been key drivers in maintaining his motivation throughout his career. Matthew McConaughey also provides another example. In his memoir, Green Lights, he discusses how journaling and reflecting on his past decisions helps him to stay connected to his vision and motivates his personal goals. This practice of staying reflective and writing down insights keeps him motivated to pursue meaningful work. And let's also take Michelle Obama. In her book, Becoming, she shares how staying connected to her values like family, education, and community has helped her stay motivated despite intense public scrutiny and personal challenges. One powerful tool for sustaining motivation and willpower is surrounding yourself with a strong support system, specifically what I call your core three. This is crucial for stopping self-sabotage and cultivating a secure attachment style because it directly addresses two essential aspects of personal growth and well-being: overcoming negative self-talk and developing supportive relationships. The core three consists of three types of people who help you break cycles of self sabotage and foster motivation and willpower. And out of the three, I think that the challenger is the most important archetype for sustaining your motivation and willpower. This person pushes you out of your comfort zone and helps you grow by challenging your assumptions and encouraging critical thinking. They're not just your yes people. They provide honest feedback, ask tough questions, and helps you confront blind spots, but they do this empathetically. They're not doing it to cut you down. They're not doing it because they're trying to be negative. They're truly wanting you to be your best. And you can only be your best if you receive honest feedback. A challenger fosters self awareness and continuous improvement, and this enhances your motivation and willpower by aligning your actions with personal growth. In my book, Stop Self Sabotage, I outline how self sabotage arises from negative self talk, fear of failure, and ingrained patterns of behavior. And the people in your core three, and particularly in this case, your challenger, helps breaks these cycles by providing constructive feedback, especially because challengers highlight any self defeating behaviors that they observe and help you to make healthier choices. They also offer accountability. Challengers keep you responsible for your commitments, and that fosters willpower and perseverance. Challengers also boost your resilience. They reinforce your strengths and reminds you of your past successes. That's so important because sometimes we ignore our own successes and we have selective memory, and we oftentimes will only remember our failures. And this makes such a bigger imprint at times on our memory and how we see ourselves than the things that we have done right. And finally, a challenger will help you to transform your negative self talk that's not serving you. They can help you reframe overly negative thoughts and promote more realistic, balanced, and positive narratives. Remember, motivation and willpower don't develop in isolation. By surrounding yourself with a strong core three, you create a system of feedback, support, and challenge that fuels continuous growth and long term success. But now I'm going to launch into some very specific and practical tips that you can try to hone your skills at building your motivation and willpower. Let's move on to our Q&A segment. Today's question comes from Emily in Fort Worth, and she asks, "Hey, Dr. Judy, I start projects full of excitement, but after a few weeks, I lose steam and stop halfway. How can I keep my motivation going long term?" Such a relatable scenario, Emily. This is something many of us experience. The initial excitement feels awesome, but when the novelty wears off, it's really easy to lose momentum. And then when you do, it's also easy for you to have negative self talk and then make you feel bad about not being able to achieve this goal. And that makes it even harder to achieve the next goal that you set. So, one effective strategy is breaking large goals into smaller, achievable milestones. When we experience small wins, our brains release dopamine. This is a neurotransmitter that's linked to pleasure and motivation. And this will help keep you moving forward, especially during challenging times. It's also helpful to journal and track progress on your goals. It's really important to review these small wins in your journal as you're writing them down and celebrate them in your own way. This could just be taking yourself out for a small treat, talking to somebody about your small win, or just creating a journal that documents your wins and your skills so that you can reflect upon them from time to time and remember all of the positive qualities and skills that you possess. And as I mentioned, find a challenger to fill out your core three, someone who's going to keep you accountable, push you to stick to your commitments, and be honest in their feedback, but also kind. It's much harder to quit when someone else is invested in your progress. And if you have a good challenger by your side, you're going to be able to harness more motivation and willpower than you ever thought possible. Good luck, Emily, and I hope that was helpful. Before we wrap up, I'd like to give you a practical tip for boosting motivation and willpower. Create a motivation vault. This is a really fun exercise, and it shows you how easy it can be to start building your skills in motivation. A motivation vault serves as a physical or digital collection of moments, achievements, and reminders that reconnect you with your sense of purpose. By visiting this vault, you strengthen neural pathways associated with confidence and perseverance. So, first, recall moments of pride. Write down moments when you felt highly motivated or proud of yourself. Include achievements, personal milestones, or times you overcame challenges. For example, think back to when you completed a difficult project at work or successfully ran a 5K. Next, gather inspirational materials. Add inspirational quotes, photos, or messages from mentors or supporters. If you have a challenger in your core three, you can ask your challenger to write down something encouraging about you that you can put into your motivation vault. Anything that reminds you of why your goals matter. And finally, regularly reflect. Revisit this vault at least once a week or during moments of low energy. Reflect on your growth and progress, reinforcing your motivation. For example, if you're working toward a fitness goal, look at pictures from past achievements in this area or revisit personal records that remind you of how far you've come. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Mental Health Bites with me. If you enjoyed what you watched, there's plenty more where that came from. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and leave a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you have. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends and family who might find it useful. Stay tuned for more helpful content, and until next time, take care of your mental health.